So all of you are in this, understand in this picture, can you able to see this? This is what recoil of gun, we can say. So as we know that, this is what we should call, basically what we should call this one, Ra. What we should call? Gun. Correct or not? Tell me,
Yes, sir.
now you observe very carefully. When I try to understanding fire the bullet from the gun, what is happening? The force is acting on the bullet by the gun. That is what we should call as what? Action. Correct or not? So action means here what is
Yes,
happening?
sir.
Bullet will move forward or backward? The bullet will move
Forward.
direction. So this is what we should call as action. So always remember, backward means action, forward means reaction. We cannot say depend upon the thing. So I am trying to, the gun is trying to apply the force on the bullet in the forward direction. So this is only we to call as action. So because of that, understand, so the gun is also exerting, the bullet is also exerting the same amount of force on the gun. So that is only we should call as what? What we should call? Reaction. But can you able to say, is it the gun and bullet both are traveling the same distance? Same force is acting, correct? Is it both are traveling same distance?
No, sir.
No. Why? Who is traveling more distance? The bullet will travel
Bullet.
more distance, and it is acceleration is where? Understand, acceleration of bullet is more. Why? Acceleration of bullet is more. Why, Ra?
That's less mass.
Acceleration is very more. Why? Because of less
mass.
You can travel very longer distance. Is it yes or no? So acceleration is, understand, acceleration is greater because of less mass. So as well as gun will travel, the jerk will be very, very less distance. Is it yes or no? So here,
yes, sir,
greater. So mass is greater. So acceleration is what? Acceleration is less. All of you. So even though the same amount of force is acting, understanding, forward and backward, both action and in the case of reaction, but gun will travel, the recoil velocity of the gun is less compared to the velocity of the bullet. Will you accept it or not?
Yes, sir.
In this case also, Newton's third law is working or not?
Yes, sir.
So, understanding, just gun will move little distance backward and the bullet will move what? A longer distance in the forward direction. And understanding that. So that is why, understanding this distance, the jerk given by the backward force, which will kick the shoulder of the gunman. So that is only which we used to set as recoiled, or else we can say recoiled velocity. What we should call? Recoiled
velocity.
Next, numericals and all will use recoil velocity only. Do you understanding, all of you? Recoil velocity means the backward motion of what? The jerk of the backward motion of what? Motion of gun is only called as what? Recoil velocity, or we can say gun is recoil. Gun is recoil.
Recoil.
Please let me know. Are you clear? This is the second example. All of you, do you understand, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Let us go for third example. How many of you know jet aeroplanes and rockets? The flying of jet aeroplanes and rockets. The flying of, keep hitting, third one. The flying of jet aeroplanes and rockets. Can you able to say how? What is the phenomena behind? Tell me, Ra. What is the phenomena behind? Pradosh, Yalamakil, Tamil Selvan, Darun, anybody? So now, how many of you know jet rockets, jet engines and rockets? You all people know, correct? We all at least have seen somewhere, correct or not? So now let us take.
Sir.
Have you noticed the balloon? Suppose you inhale the balloon and if you leave the balloon, what will happen, Ra? Balloon is to produce, it is just to fly away. Is it yes or no? So when you are trying to inflate the balloon and if you try to release like this, have you noticed it? When the air is coming downwards, the balloon will go upward direction. Is it yes or no? And it will go and it will fall down. Once the complete air will come outside, so that the balloon will fall down. The same phenomenon is happening in the case of jet engines and as well as rockets also. So what will happen means hot gases which will produce a huge amount of energy, like combustion gases, like oxygen and hydrogen, they will burn and they will produce huge amount of energy. They will come out from the, understand, backward, like silencer, understand, they will come out from the backward of that rocket or else jet engines, jet aeroplanes. So that what is happening when the hot gases are coming backward direction, means the jet engine is applying the force on the hot gases. So because of that, what is happening now? That hot gases will exert the same and equal amount of force in opposite direction. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So that what will happen?
Yes, sir.
So that it will move in the forward direction. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So let us observe this more clearly so that you can understand. So how we can demonstrate it also. So you people may know that you can make a moving off aeroplane by using a balloon. So we can tie some balloon. Understanding? We can get some balloon and we'll tie the thread in between the two poles. And if you try to release the balloon with the help of, have you noticed that activity you may have done already? If you release the balloon, then balloon will go along with the rope. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
You will inhale the balloon and if you leave it, when you will touch it and leave it, it will go along with the rope. Is it yes or no? So why, what is happening? Because of what is happening there? What is happening? Nobody? Anybody, what is happening? Tell me.
Sir, Newton's third law.
Newton's third. So
Third law.
let us discuss that understanding more clearly so you may understand here. So just imagine in place of balloon or any kind of understanding engines, jet engines. So what is happening here? So when I fill the air inside it, you may observe very carefully here. When I fill the air inside it, so when I leave that, then what is happening? The air is coming backward direction. Do you understanding all of you? The air is coming backward direction. So this is what we should call what we should call
Action.
or not. So when the air is pushing in the backward direction, so that what is happening? So air also will exert the same amount of force in forward direction. So that is what forward direction is only we used to call it as what?
Reaction.
Reaction.
Forward direction. That is what we used to call it as reaction. So that is why the balloon will start moving. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, if you want to prove this, sir, activity I want to do like aeroplane. So you can take in between two poles and tie the rope like this. Rope in the some kind of inclination. Is it okay, all of you? Now, inflate the balloon, and you just understanding. Stick to this. Stick to in the sense of like a normal, like a thread you can tie. Understanding? This is the inflated balloon. So now you can see if you release that mouth, that balloon will go along with that rope till this end. Do you notice it or not? Means the sense of same phenomena, because when the air is pushing outside, pushing in the backward direction, so this balloon will move in the forward direction. Or else, normal balloon also, if you inflate and if you leave it, what is happening? Same like rockets. If the air which is present inside the balloon will try to push it, understanding, the air will come outside very forcefully. Is it yes or no? Like this it will.
Yes, sir.
So when the air is acting downward direction, what is happening? This is only we used to call as action.
Action.
So if the air is trying to move downward direction, so air will exert the same amount of force in forward direction. So that is what we should call reaction. So that is why the balloon will fly randomly in the air. Is it yes or no? Have you noticed it or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes, same way if it comes to this jet engines also, if you'll observe, understanding this are aeroplanes and rockets, everywhere same thing is happening. So what is happening? Observe in this picture carefully. So the gases, hot gases are coming out. Have you noticed it here? Push up the engine on the gases. So engine will try to push, understanding, a very, very hot gases with a high speed, so that they will produce huge amount of acceleration. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Acceleration will produce this engine which is present, it is trying to push the hot gases from the back of the aeroplane or else a jet rocket, so that these hot gases are trying to move backward direction. That is what we should call backward direction is called as
Action.
Understanding, this is called as action. So because of that action, what is happening now? Backward direction. So we used to call it as backward direction, which we called as action. So because of that, these hot gases, they will try to apply the same equal amount of force in the forward direction. So that forward direction is only what we should call push up the
Reaction.
on the engine. So that is what we should call as reaction. So that is why the aeroplanes will start flying. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
All of you. So this is the phenomena behind. So here also what it is happening? Action is equals to minus reaction. Understanding? So that is why everything is used to fly. Is it yes or no, all of you? Please let
Yes,
me know.
sir.
So the same way,
Yes.
observe balloon, understanding balloon and rocket both will works in the same. So for example, let us imagine rocket will looks like this. So this is the balloon which I have left like this. Is it yes or no? Like upward direction. So same way if you observe, rocket is also present like this. Is it yes or no, Ra?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So rocket is also present like this. So what is happening now? So you may notice it rocket launching station. So huge amount of gases is producing from the downward direction. Is it yes or no? Like this.
Yes, sir.
Of gases they will to produce and they will start moving backward direction. So this backward direction is only what we should call
Action.
direction, which we used to call as action.
Action.
Gases will exert huge amount of force on forward direction of it. That is why the rocket will go upward direction. Do you understanding all of you?
Yes, sir.
No. So force on rocket, which we used to call as reaction. Force on gases, which we used to call as what? Force on gases, which we used to call as force
Reaction.
on gases. Force on gases, which we used to call as action. So force on rocket, which we used to call as
Reaction.
which we used to call as reaction. Do you understanding all of you? So that is what
Yes,
is
sir.
reaction, and this is called as action. Is there any doubt? Anybody please ask me. So backward forces is called the force which is acting by the engine of understanding by the engine of rocket on these gases is called as action. So gases will exert the opposite force. That is what we should call as what? Reaction. Do you understanding, Ra? So that is the
Yes, sir.
second example. So in the second example, everywhere you can see, everywhere what is happening? Everywhere what is happening? Principle of action and reaction only.
Reaction.
So all of you should write it. Jet aeroplanes utilize the principle of, bottom you should write, jet aeroplanes utilize the principle of action and reaction. Jet aeroplanes utilize the principle of jet aeroplanes utilize the principle of what? Principle of what? Ra? Principle of
Action. Action is equal to minus reaction.
principle of action and reaction. Action and reaction. And the same way who is utilizing? What is this called as?
Newton's third law.
What is this called as? I'm saying you rockets. Understanding rocket. So the rockets also work on the principle of. This is called as rocket. Rocket also, but balloon and rocket same. You may observe balloon and rocket are similar or not? Ra? Similar or not? Balloons also gases are pushing downwards. That is called as action. So the gases will exert the force on forward direction. That is only we used to call as reaction. Understand that is. So that is right. Rockets also working on the same principle. Rockets also work on the principle of action and reaction. Is it okay, Ra? Yes? All of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. Next one. Next example, let us study. The case of a boat and the ship. The case of a boat and the ship. All of you keep it. Fourth example. I think is it fourth example?
Sixth example, sir.
No. First example. Okay. Under that only first three will come. Understand? Next. The case of okay, you can take individual also, no problem. The case of boat and ship. The boat and ship. Shall we start now?
Yes, sir.
What is action and reaction in boat and ship? Can you able to say? Boat and ship. Anything you can take. What is the action behind it? What is the reaction behind it?
Sir, same like a swimmer only, sir. Same like swimmer.
Yes. So as we know that swimmer, same way. But while you are traveling in the boat, suppose let me take small boat, not the ship. Ship means it is having some propellers. Propellers means some fans, so that the fans will rotate fastly. They will push the water backward direction, so that the ship will go forward direction. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
So in the case of, for example, let us take, in the case of normal boat, you may observe, we have a oars. What is the meaning of oars, Ra? What is the meaning of oars? Oars means the thread we can call, which we can use to, understanding, push the water backward direction. Correct or not?
Yes, sir.
Yes or no? All of you. So now let us discuss that. So pedal backwards, the boat move forward. Okay, Pradosh. So now that is a small boat, you may observe. So observe very carefully in these two pictures. What is happening, the phenomena exactly, you please tell me. So here one lady is trying to, what she's doing now? She's trying to move the boat forward direction. Correct or not? Yes?
Yes, sir.
So now she is doing something here. This is called like spoon-like object. This is only we used to call it as what? Oars. What we should call?
Horse.
Oars. Do you understand, Darun? Tamil Selvan?
Yes, sir.
So this oars, with this oars, what is happening? She is trying to push the water backward or forward direction. If she wants to move forward, what is happening? She will push the water
Backward.
backward direction. Understanding? So she will push the water with the oars backward direction. So greater is the reaction force exerted by the water and faster will be the boat moves forward. So if I am trying to push the water very fastly, then the boat also will move very fastly forward direction. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Why? Because if the greater will be the force, understanding, which I am applying on the water, so the same water also will exert the greater force on the boat so that the boat can move much faster. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Yes, that is what you should remember. So, if I will try to push the water backward with the oars, if the greater is the reaction force, understanding, if greater is the action force, if I am trying to push the water, understanding, very, very harder, means I am applying the more action force. If the greater is the action, then definitely greater will be the reaction force which is exerted by water, and then the boat will move forward very easily. Is it yes or no, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So that is what you should remember. So if I'm trying to push the water backward very fastly, you can see, then the boat also will move in the same speed, and because it will also will exert, understanding, same thing, same amount of force in a reaction as a reaction, so that we can move much faster in water. Correct or not? Yes or no?
Yes,
now,
sir.
you may notice it. When the person, here one person, you may notice it, Pradosh, Yelamukil, everybody, Tamil Selvan, observe carefully. He's trying to jump from the boat. Is it correct or not? He's trying to come to the surface. He's trying to come to the surface from the boat. Is it yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Now you may notice it, you also, when you are jumping from the boat, then the boat always will go backward direction. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir.
What is happening here? Why it is going backwards? Can you able to say? When he's trying to step out from the boat, or else he's trying to jump out from the boat, from the bank of river or from the anywhere from the boat moves backward direction, away from him. Why? Why? Like
Sir, same like we walk on the ground, sir. We will push the boat backward.
But in walking, ground is not moving. But here, boat is in water. Boat is not in the surface. Understanding, hard surface. Boat is in water. So that water is always in the motion. Is it yes or no? Water
Yes, sir.
is in the motion. So that when the person is trying to jump out from the boat to the surface on the land, or else any kind of river bed or sea bed or somewhere, then what is happening? He is trying to push the ground, push the boat in which direction, Ra? He is trying to push the boat in which direction? Backward direction. Understanding? So backward direction. So that is what we should call action or reaction.
Action.
Action. He's trying to push the boat in a backward direction. So that is what? Force on the boat. Whatever the force applied by my leg, like same way in the ground, is called as action. So because of that, the boat also will exert same amount of force in forward direction. So that is what we should call reaction.
Reaction.
So that is why the person is trying to move forward direction. Correct or not, Ra?
Yes, sir.
All of you, do you able to understanding or not?
Yes, sir.
So here, the person moving forward direction is called as, what we should call? The person moving forward is called as forward reaction is called as what? Reaction. Understanding, all of you? And the
Yes,
person
sir.
is trying to push the boat, that is what we should call as backward direction. So in the case of water also. So water will be pushed harder in the backward direction. So here backward is called as what? Action or reaction? Action. Understanding? Means by the oars, if I'm trying to push the water, that is backward, that is water, action. So water will push the boat in forward direction. So that is what we should call
Reaction.
reaction. Do you understanding, all of you?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is what In the case of boat and ship, also, this is what happening. So we have even so many more examples, but already now time for 7:47. So with this I will end. So from tomorrow, understanding in tomorrow we'll continue from here. Okay, all of you.
Yes, sir.
You understand very well. Now, what is the applications of Newton's third law? Do you understanding or not? Okay,
Yes,
Lakshya.
sir.
Skateboard
Yes.
skating, no action and reaction is there. Yes, sir. Is there, Lakshya? So when I'm trying to push like this, understanding in skating, you see, I'm trying to push the ground backward direction. If I'm trying to push more faster, then more faster I will go forward. Correct or not, Lakshya? Same thing is happening. Okay. That's all.
Okay, sir.
This is all about the today's class. With this I will stop. Tomorrow we'll continue. Thank you so